Y continúa la novela de Luis Díaz con Liverpool. Mientras Luis Díaz está de vacaciones, los hinchas hablan sobre lo que comentó Pipe Sierra hace unos días, aquí pueden verlo, diciendo de que no está contento con lo que está pasando con su contrato y el Liverpool. Lógicamente eso alborotó a las avispas y a las abejas de los hinchas de Liverpool. Y aquí les traigo lo que Don Hussam puso hace unos días. Él trajo a 4 hinchas de Liverpool a discutir de este tema. Esto es bastante largo, así que se los voy a traer en 2 partes. Esta es la primera parte donde hablan más del contrato y lo que él cuesta y lo que ha aportado. Y la segunda parte, que se las traigo el miércoles o jueves, habla de Codigapo comparándolo con Lucho y más o menos ese cuento. También les quiero contar de que hablan un poco de Konate. Konate, el central de Liverpool, que está pasando por lo mismo. A Konate le falta 1 año de contrato, a Lucho le quedan 2 años y Konate está buscando un contrato más alto, un mejor, porque puede que se vaya al PSG o a otro equipo, incluso decían que el Real Madrid. Entonces están pasando por algo similar, así que por eso hablan de los dos, de cierta manera. Y bueno, los dejo con el video, no olviden suscribirse, darle like al video, recuerden que el pulgarcito me ayuda mucho, el canal sigue creciendo, les agradezco mucho todo su apoyo, a todos los que siempre me escriben, muchas gracias por ese apoyo y suscríbanse, es fácil, es gratis y darle al pulgarcito también es gratis, así que espero les guste el video, ya les traeré la segunda parte, van a ver que hay comentarios de todo tipo, hay uno especialmente que habla de Codigapo, eh, va a expandir sus pensamientos sobre Codigapo y Lucho Díaz en el próximo video, así que esperen eso. Bueno, los dejo con el video, disfruten, esto es Golazo, nos vemos muy pronto.
Obviously, you guys have seen all the latest reports about Diaz being unhappy. I'll start off with you, Jerry. You tell me your thoughts on this whole situation. Talk to
them. Yeah, people know Diaz. I'm a big Diaz fan. I like what Diaz offers. I like his versatility. I've supported him on this channel when people didn't. So for me, it is worrying from that aspect. But I understand what Luis Diaz's camp are saying, because from what I'm gathering is they've at first said they'd probably get into his contract maybe a couple seasons ago, maybe last season. They haven't done that. He's one of the most underpaid player in the top 4. Is that fair to say in terms of his importance to the squad? And yeah, the amount he's getting paid in comparison to his counterparts. You then obviously hear rumors that Barca's coming in, and his dad's twerking for Barca and all of that, and yeah, cool. Agents have probably spoke to Barca, and Barca have said, yeah, look, we will sign you, but it's going to be for this price, right? Liverpool have now said they're not selling. So they've put him in a situation now where, from his point of view, he's not going to get a contract extension, but Liverpool don't want to let him go, because whether it's Slot or Edwards or whoever, they value him at a certain level. Now, honestly, if a massive offer, all relative to the player, I think we'd sell, because I think Liverpool would be content with the signings they've made, and they'll be content that they could go into the transfer market and sign a player at a replacement.
That's not the club's fault. He's got a shit agent. All right. That's pretty much Luis Diaz's issue. At Porto, the year we bought him, he was on £9,000 a week. He was one of the lowest paid players in that Porto squad.
Yeah.
He came to Liverpool and got 55 grand a week, which is obviously a big increase to what you was on. And Liverpool probably looking at him thinking, right, he's 28 years of age. He's not a superstar footballer in Liverpool's eyes like a Salah or Virgil. So he's not going to get like monster contract. Did Liverpool go, right, we'll give you another 2 years, give you 4 years, take you up to like 31, 32, 120, 130, 140 grand a week. We double your contract. But the club might be thinking and looking at him thinking, if he plays for us and stays, he's a valuable asset on the pitch because what he does with his quality. But losing him for a free doesn't really hurt us financially because of the small contract he's on. And that's why Liverpool can still get good money for Luis Díaz. And that is why I think Liverpool playing is extremely well at the moment. They've come out and said he's not for sale because he's because of his small contract. They can still get 80 million quid for him. I think if you're going to sell Luis Díaz, if Liverpool really want to sell Luis Díaz, you'd think it'd be this summer because he's just come off the best season he's had at Liverpool Football Club since he's been here. I'm good with Diaz staying, by the way. I really am. I'm fine with him staying for 2 years, seeing out his contract and living on free. That don't worry me. I'm also not too concerned if he leaves either, because I'm with Jerry here on this one thing. If you're going to buy a player right now as a left winger that's available, Kvaratskhelia not available, yeah. But if you go buy a left winger that's available right now, are they better than Luis Díaz right now? Maybe not. But in a few years to come, are they going to be better? Yeah. But I think the way Slot's looking at buying players this summer, he wants players ready to go right now.
Whether you like it or not, we're trying to sell Diaz because we put a price on his head. And if it wasn't for Barcelona just being skins, he'd be playing for Barcelona. Let's just be real. And I totally get the money issue. Like, why would we sell Diaz for 40 million? Like, it's the most money we're ever going to get, because it's the highest value he's ever going to be right now, because he's had his best season and he's just won the league. So to be lowballed with 40 million euros, not 40 million quid, 40 million euros by Barcelona for him is absolutely pathetic. And I totally get why Liverpool turned it down. And I feel like this is a loyalty thing now. It's finding out which guys are going to run through your brick walls, which guys are going to do it for Liverpool for the next couple of years. And we're starting to see some of the people that maybe aren't going to be there. And I don't know whether Canate is going to be one of them either, if I'm completely honest. Like, if the stuff's real about him saying he's disappointed, he's been let down, then see you later, mate. Like, Diaz, see you later. Like, unfortunately, you're not going to be there to win more trophies with us. Like, if that's the attitude you've got. But Cody is a little bit different for me, because I feel like Cody's pushing for a new contract. And I feel like Cody is totally on board with the Liverpool project. And I'd be more than happy for him to stay and for the other to go, because I still feel that Wirtz is going to get played on the left-hand side.
Loyalty is a two-way street. Loyalty is not just the player's loyalty to the club, it's the club's loyalty to the player. Luis Díaz is on £55,000 a week. I'm not sure what his bonus structure is. I don't know if that information has to be made public. I have no idea if Liverpool has to say how much money each individual player made, what each of their bonuses were. I don't know, because it's very likely that he's not earning £55,000. It's very likely that it is more than that. We just don't know how much more. He's coming off his best season in a Liverpool shirt, and we won the Premier League. So if I'm the club, you either want him or you don't. And if you don't want him, I don't care what the bid is. If he's not in your plan, I don't want a player that doesn't want to be here and I'm unwilling to sell, because then that's just going to seep into the locker room. I don't want to see a player who doesn't want to be on the pitch playing for us, not giving 110%. Because then that's 60 minutes that I don't get back in a game. And who knows if I'm going to win or lose that game because of his ineptitude. We saw it in certain situations where Trent didn't look like he wanted to be there. And if the club doesn't want to give Luis Díaz more than £55,000 a week, to me, that's telling me that the club doesn't want to pay the players what they have deserved to be paid.
I mentioned 3 names today. Look, here's the problem with losing out on Luis Díaz. You're also losing out on versatility, because Diaz can play down the middle. And when Mo goes to AFCON, Diaz can play on the right. That's another thing that people don't ever mention. That's another thing, because he did it in the quadruple charge season, by the way. He played on the right when Mo went to AFCON, and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah, and Oxlade-Chamberlain played on the left. Now, my thing is the following. I mentioned 3 names today: Rodrigo, Barcola, and Rafael Leao. Those are the only 3 players that I would not be upset losing Luis Díaz to.